It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Flying down from Nova Scotia today.
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds.
I have a dream.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Captain Samurai.
There we go.
Yeah,
we got
baby. Another bonus segment Garrett and I are doing. I, Captain from the Two Do Men, and Garrett from Sergeant and Samurai. We will be talking about January 6th today. Guess what, people? We were right again.
No, I think that's our segment, right? We told you. We were
Told
right.
you so.
Told you so. Told you so. So, yeah, no, there's been a lot of why we're hopping right into it because I'm on a time crunch today and there's a lot of stuff to dive into. So, I'm sure by, now most of the people that listen, follow us have been all over the Twitters, all over the internet showing all the release footage of January 6th that we've been talking about forever, saying this is not what really happened. They've been cherry picking stuff. So I'm sure you've seen the one side saying, oh, they're just cherry picking the nice side of the thing.
Just like the committee cherry picked.
That's what I said. And it's like, people are just like, it's not our cherry pick, so it's not okay. Now, another argument I've seen is like, okay, like just because there was peaceful stuff going on doesn't mean that the violent stuff didn't happen.
Right. But
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fill out your point.
Exactly. So, and I'm pretty sure we're on agreement.
This is a tough topic because I have been furious for days. I have to say, pure fury. Like, I've been working out stronger in the gym, just like in between sets, yelling at people on Twitter.
Chasing demons
Bench
away.
350, get on Twitter. Fuck you. You're the one cherry picking garbage. 350.
375. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's funny you say that because I snuck my workout in today. We had to hop on a little early, and I went through my workout because I was like, dude, I have to do my hour and a half workout in 45 minutes. So I was just like fucking mad, man. And I usually don't go to the gym at that time, and it's packed, and I'm just like running over people, and they they know me there, so they're like, just get the fuck out of his way. And I'm just like, sorry, you good here? Look, I'll hop in.
Yeah. I'll armbar you.
Yeah, because they know I'm gonna be like boop, 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 boop. So, but yeah, so the violent and to play devil's advocate here, yes, was there violent things that happened, but it was also caused by agitators.
Yes, like Reyes. Oh,
where's
the guy who got. Where's Ray? He's hiding on his new ranch in Arizona because his life's been destroyed.
Bought and paid for by Pfizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So you're seeing, their narrative fall apart. You saw the Nancy Pelosi production of the whole thing. Everybody was like, they set up a committee, the election. There's been over 60 justices that said, oh, there's not enough evidence to look at. What don't you people get that everybody's bought and paid for? And all those justices that you're looking at are all Obama appointed justices, Bush appointed justices, all that. And then they go, oh, well, there's a Trump one in there. And Trump like, well, you don't think there's one bad egg in a barrel or one bad apple in a barrel? Like, it's ridiculous because now we're showing you with your own fucking eyes there's two sides to a coin.
Yep.
Right. It's like that meme where that kid has the boot on his head, and when you pan out, it's just his hand in the boot.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the same. Same thing.
What people need to understand as well is what the January 6th committee by law, by legal action, did was wrong. If Garrett or myself got in trouble and there was a video camera in the store pointing to our backs and it kind of looked like we were shoving stuff in a bag, and then the camera across the street clearly shows we didn't steal anything.
Stuff out of the bag and putting
exactly.
it back.
and your prosecutor only considers one camera and not the other one, that is not due process of the law. That is not how evidence is explored. So for Nancy Pelosi and the January 6th committee to throw away and ban and bar anybody from seeing not another camera, not an hour's worth of footage, 40,000 hours worth of video evidence that unravels the January 6th. This is not due process of the law. This is illegal, treasonous. And what makes it worse is there are Americans with American citizenship sitting in American prisons because of politics. Whatever side you're on, this has gone too far now. This has gone way too far now.
They're holding people on trespassing charges for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're holding people and not even charging them for 2 years.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I watched
in the United States of America.
Yeah. Yep. And meanwhile, in the middle of fucking downtown Bronx or whatever, I watched a video of a man attack another man with a baseball bat and try and turn his head into a home run derby. And that guy with the baseball bat, clearly assaulting someone on camera, was out in 24 hours. But if you trespass on the Capitol, and if you trespass on the Capitol on January 6th, 2 years in prison. Meanwhile, the Capitol in, what was it, Oklahoma, on one of our previous episodes, complete takeover. Everybody trespass. No one's in trouble.
But that's because they wanted to kill babies and have people cut off their weenies.
I know. It's
that's
just
okay.
The election's not really important. Cutting off weenies is.
Well, the other thing that gets me about this trespassing, and I could be wrong here, it doesn't happen often, but I could be wrong here. Like, isn't that the people's capital?
Yeah, it is. It is our building.
Am I trespassing on my own on my own capital?
Yeah.
How am I trespassing?
You're not. It's just another means to an end for the establishment. Yeah.
Democracy.
It's
a fucking republic, bitches.
I'm glad you brought up democracy, because my favorite term on Twitter, and I have a lot of questions and a lot of gripe with Twitter over this past week over this topic, and Elon Musk, shout out, man, for just trolling Chuck Schumer, which is fantastic. But I've been pointing out to people like, oh, this is a danger to our democracy. And I write like, yes, your democracy, not the real democracy, the made up, alternate universe of reality that you live in. It's a threat to your democracy because you're also a paid shill. So this is a threat to your paycheck.
JoJo Jers and Brooklyn Defiant.
Did you see my tweet to JoJo? Yeah, this isn't a threat to democracy. This is a threat to your paycheck.
Yes, 100%. So I got a question for you, because words have meanings, right? And do you feel like that they're always putting the word democracy in there and getting people to think, oh, our democracy, when we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic, and there's a big fucking difference?
They do that 100% on purpose.
Like, they're just trying to get you to talk about, we are a democracy. We are a democracy. No, we're not.
It's just like nobody understands the term fascists, the merging between corporations and governments. Donald Trump's a fascist. Donald Trump resigned from his position as the CEO of his real estate company. He has no ties to business anymore. He didn't if he came into the presidency and then Trump International became one of the largest companies in the fucking world, that would be fascism.
It's insane. So, there's well, what is it? The difference between socialism and communism? Socialism, they have the government has the private sector running stuff, and communism is total government control over everything. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just like, oh, the government's not in control, but we're telling the businesses what to do. Then the other one is like, no, government controls all the businesses. So that's communism and socialism. We're in a socialist state right now. Doesn't mean that it's not going to go full commie, right?
Correct.
It's steps.
Correct.
It's steps. Everybody that's look where socialism's worked.
Nowhere.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, ask the people. We don't take it from us. Ask anybody from Venezuela, Cuba, most of South America. Just ask them. See what happens.
Italy.
See if anybody's
Canada.
gonna buy this shit. I don't know. Canadians are pretty happy with the way things are.
Okay, so yes and no. I actually have my business partner down from Canada, and he's like, bro, like he tells me how it works up there. He's like, it's communism, man. Like you have to give you want to do anything, you have to give the government, they got to take their half. Yeah. They got to take their half and give it to China, to make sure daddy's happy.
Oh man, yeah. Did I ever tell you the story of the guy that I knew who moved to Canada recently?
Yeah, that you used to go to the gym with?
Yeah, and he was like, they got it right up there. And I was like, is
he back yet?
No. Somebody that brainwashed and that's stupid. The same
people never admit they're wrong.
Yeah, they're not. He's not coming back. He loves. He's in his pod with his butt plug, and he's happy as can be right now.
The bugs.
Yeah, eating the bugs, driving his electric car that they're going to turn off on him.
Yeah. I know people don't understand. I don't know if we talked about it on this, but about the Ford, repossessing their own cars. We mentioned it. Yeah. Yep. I mean, dude, it's all in the pipeline. Me and James talked on Winning Wednesdays yesterday about the line. You ever see the line?
No, what's the line?
It's like the sideways cities.
Okay.
So it's basically like they put everything in a line and put it this way, and it's like as tall as the Empire State Building, and then probably about 2 to whatever 100 feet across, and then it's like just miles, and you're in your sectors, and you can travel on the line. But it's for the environment and renewable food, and the plants, and us engineering fish, and us doing this, and us playing God, but it's for your betterment, and the environment is going to take less strain on there, and we're gonna have like. You're going to keep drinking your shit water? Oh, that's cool. That seems healthy in the long-term effects.
It's the smart cities.
Yep.
Which is something we'll eventually get into.
They have
which is
one.
Scary
I was talking to my buddy that's down, and he's like, dude, they have like pilot projects in Vancouver for it. They have people in London, and they have one in London. They have one maybe going on in Toronto. And he's like, dude, people are losing their mind because if you go, you can only travel within like 5 minutes from your thing, and then like you can't cross into this other sector. And he's like, people are like fucking ripping down the barriers. They're coming in because it's all about control. Think about how big Canada is. I think Canada is the second largest country in the world. They have a small population because a lot of it's the Arctic, right? But think about the amount of land they have, the amount of land, they're second largest country in the world.
I always said that about Russia. They could do whatever they want in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. And they have the population of California.
Yeah.
So Canada, the whole country of Canada has the population of California in it, and it's the second biggest country in the world.
Yeah.
It's insane.
There's plenty of room to do whatever you want.
It's like China, then Brazil, then Canada, or something like that. It's like something in that order. Me and Stevie have talked about it. But you're seeing this, and it's like, the more and more I'm listening to the Canadians, they're just like, by the time Ottawa votes, like we have no vote. And it's different in their country where like their provinces, which are like their states, right? The people in Ottawa make the rules for the people in like Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they all have the same problems.
So the equivalent is the people that make their laws in like New Jersey or DC, the people in Texas and Montana have to follow the same laws.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, fuck off, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. I know that area is like tried to defect and be like the greater Idaho area. They want to like they want to
become
like
part of Idaho.
In Montana and all that stuff because they all live the same way out there, because it's in that sector of the country.
Good luck.
But
the only way that'll happen is if Democrats could turn it blue and get extra seats in the House.
Very true. Very true. So getting back to January 6th though. So we're seeing the footage of the Q Shaman. I think I can bring that up if you haven't seen it.
Let's rock that.
Let me see if I can bring it up for us kids. All right, so we're gonna go. Let's see there's Biden getting walked out. Sorry. I think this is it, right? It was on Tucker.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start it over.
Which we'll talk about afterwards as well. I have a few things.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead. Wrong way. There you go.
Yep.
That Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, was joined in this outrage by the Senate Minority Leader. And that would be a Republican, Mitch McConnell. And they were joined by a cascade of other Republicans, Tom Tillis from North Carolina, Mitt Romney from Utah, all sharing the same outrage. And from this, we learn two things. One, you're getting close to what they really care about. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why is it so important that they would degrade themselves by telling such obvious lies and calling for censorship? Why? What are they trying to protect? That might be worth exploring, and we plan to. And the second thing that we learned from this is that they're on the same side. The Senate Majority Leader joins the Senate Minority Leader. Tom Tillis, Mitt Romney. They're all on the same side. So it's actually not about left and right. It's not about Republican and Democrat. Here you have people with shared interests, the open borders people, the people like Mitch McConnell who are living in splendor on Chinese money, the people who underneath it all have everything in common or all aligned against everyone else. And that would include almost all news organizations in this country as well. And so if you're watching this film, it might be kind of interesting to keep a list, because one thing we learned today is that they're all in agreement with each other. They kind of outed themselves. They sort of showed their membership cards in whatever club this is to the public. So keep a list. If you want to know who's actually aligned, despite the illusion of partisanship, we found out today.
That's fantastic. I loved all of Twitter going, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Mitch McConnell. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Mitch McConnell. What? Mitch McConnell's like saying Liz Cheney. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like, who in the Republican Party is still like, I'm on Camp McConnell, baby. Give me that turtle-looking motherfucker. Nobody's buying this man's crap anymore.
Nobody wanted him to be this. We were fighting to get him to not be the Senate Majority Leader. Like people, I like you said, Brooklyn Defiant, Jersey Joe, all them. They're like, oh, I can't believe I agreed with him with this. And it was like, dude, like none of it. And they're like, oh, now Republicans are calling him a rhino. I mean, we've been calling him a rhino for like a decade, man.
Yeah, dude, it's just he flip-flopped all through the Trump administration. The second Trump got out of office, full-blown back. He's just a weasel. He's as big as a weasel as fucking
dude, that
Adam
creepy
Schiff
looking
is.
Motherfucker. Yes, like he's the Adam Schiff over there. He's the old Adam Schiff. That's all he is. You know, like, what do you think that dirty old man in the backwoods of Kentucky's doing to like little people?
I don't even want to know.
Dude, they have to have something.
Roasting them and pig splits. Yeah,
dude, they have to have something so fucking big on him for him to just keep turning in the face of every conservative view. It's insane. And then still being in power.
Well, I mean, that's why he's in
everybody
power.
Else.
That's why he's in power. They put him in there because they, just like Chuck Schumer is never going to leave that position. He got into his position. They said, you're good at this. You're here till you're dead now. That's it.
He's a senator, right? Senator Schumer. Like, who the fuck in New York keeps voting for this asshole?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
as we're showing. It doesn't matter if you did or you didn't.
Yeah, he's in, and that's it.
It's like Pelosi. It's like Feinstein.
Yeah.
They're 178.
So I got a question for you.
I got an answer.
Now, I've actually we haven't talked on my podcast or this podcast about Speaker oh my God. McCarthy. There we go. Sorry. Can't believe his name slipped me. I think he's been doing very well. I don't think he's been doing great. I'm not no new big McCarthy fan, but I have seen some interactions where he has been very hard-nosed on the media, and he will fight back, and he explains very well what he is trying to do. Now, I'm glad that he wanted transparency for January 6th, because it's important to have transparency on something this major. If we're this was the worst thing since 9/11 and the Civil War combined. This was the worst thing since Joe Biden.
Harbor.
Since Joe Rogan said to take ivermectin. I mean, it's right up there. Joe Rogan, ivermectin, 9/11, January 6th.
Yeah, I know.
And my big issue, and Skaggs had mentioned this as well, I don't think the greatest idea was giving it all to Fox and Tucker. Tucker is a lightning rod of an individual. Fox is the odd man out of the media, the mainstream
Fox is the Republican CNN.
Yeah, it is. And so, I understand why he gave it to Fox, because it would have been interesting if he gave it to every media news outlet.
Should give it to Elon.
That's exactly where I was going. I would have
draw your own conclusion.
Yes. One, I would have liked to seen him give it to multiple media sources. So when MSNBC doesn't even do anything with it, meanwhile, Fox has all this bombshell information, and then CNN just starts cherry picking and editing videos or whatever, because they would get caught. It'd be impossible for them not to get caught now. I would have liked to have seen the landscape if it was multiple people, but ideally, I'm right there with you. Give it all to Elon, pump it all out on Twitter for the entire world to see. Let the entire world decipher what's going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was my answer, was you should have gave it to Elon. My problem with the other propaganda news networks, the mainstream media, Fox included, and I've been saying it for years, because Fox is the one that called the election. Mm-hmm. Fox is the one that has done stuff. So I've, I've posted, like, here's the information from Tucker. I call him Tucker. I'm not even a fan of him. Right now, did his monologue frame it for some American people, like the conservatives, that were still like, oh no, the elections weren't rigged? Yeah. Because there's conservatives out there that I know some that are like, oh, stop it. Oh, this. I'm like, yeah, and now we're okay. We're talking about everything else, right? I posted the CDC director. I know I'm jumping here, but literally going on under oath saying, yeah, we knew it was manufactured in 2014. And then I wasn't privy to any of these conversations that Fauci and them were having, on February of 2020. And I knew it was manufactured, and I didn't say anything, basically. Yeah. And they hid it from me, because he knows he's caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So now he's just trying to save his soul, which ain't gonna happen there. Fucking red, the little beard. He looks like a little dude, right? So, but yeah, so I think it should have been released that way through Twitter. Did they give it to Fox because it has the most viewership and they knew it was going to impact the most regular normies? Because if you give it to CNN, I mean, those people are so brainwashed as it is. Like, I don't even think they would believe it if CNN told them at this point. Like we were saying the other day, like, yeah,
but they're not going to believe it if Fox shows them it either.
They're not going to believe it if Fox shows it. But CNN, their viewership is so low and they're pumping their numbers. How many people are really seeing it?
Yeah. Well, and you also have to realize that CNN is on in every gym, every airport, every train station.
But it's not anymore. That's why a lot of their viewership you see it tank. Yeah. They're losing their numbers every month religiously. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. They pump the numbers like the people pump the votes. Okay. Yeah. It's easy to be like, oh, we got 10 million viewers when it's on in every airport, every sports bar, everything, because they have a contract with them to play fucking CNN while everybody's waiting, like it's the news, like it used to be. Like, you used to go to CNN. I used to go to CNN. I remember during like the Iraq War, the first one, like Desert Storm. I mean, you had CNN on.
Well, I wasn't watching the news back in '91. So.
Yeah, no, but like we had CNN on because that was the way you saw it, or C-SPAN, right? And that was the thing. Like, you notice how they got rid of C-SPAN, like on the floor, even though it was the most boring thing. They would just tape all the hearings on the Senate floor, all the things, and you could just like watch what was going on. And then they did away with it. And then they even said, like, I think Getch was like, bring the C-SPAN back to the floor so people could see that their fucking elected officials aren't even showing up. Yep. It's just a screenshot of me talking to an empty room and trying to prove my point, and nobody's even showing up.
Yeah. It's amazing to see, and it's something that we've talked so much about, that like, you're right, like CNN is, the brainwashed people who watch CNN aren't going to buy it. Fox isn't going to change anybody's mind, but like, this isn't new information. Us idiots have been calling it all from the start, which leads me into my next thing, that like, man, the election's one of two ways, and you could come up with your own conclusion at the end. Either A, we are right and the election was rigged, as we've been right about everything, and in a year from now, we'll be hearing about stuff that we were saying 2-3 years ago.
As court cases go through.
Yeah. Or B, that's like the one thing that the Democratic Party told us the truth on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no.
And I highly doubt it.
Yeah. So with that, this kind of leads into this video, how we were saying there was agitators and you know, the January 6th is all coming back to the stolen election, right? So this is why these are the repercussions of them trying to steal election. The American people saying, fuck you, we're pissed, this is not going to happen. And then our own government spinning it and calling everybody domestic terrorist. All right. So, and then saying, oh, like there was photo ops of people with sickles on their hands and shit. Like there was photo ops of the Q shaman. Like we're seeing video of them walking him through,
which is a very
Capitol.
Damning video of two
Very
police.
damning.
Do you have that video?
I'm gonna look for it right now on my end. I think I did share it, but my Twitter's been
pretty sure you did.
Deep. Yep, nope, I got it right here. I can bring it up, and then we're gonna follow up with the video of one of the leaders for Antifa and Black Lives Matter showing that they said we did it. Okay. So I'm going to screen share here. Hold on 1 second.
Dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in
screen share.
Yep, I know. I'm just trying to set it up and so it doesn't like look like a Momo when we're here. Boom. Boom. All right. I like to make it big for our audience. All right, hold on 1 second.
outlandish costume, who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment? To this day, there is dispute over how Chansley got into the Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside. Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate. Watch. Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th, the danger.
What you got to say about that there, Captain?
Entrapment. Fucking entrapment. You know, this guy hasn't had a word to say otherwise. You think he was in on it? You think he was paid to show up and be this spokesperson, and right now he's doing a 4-year vacation at Club Fed? Or was it just something because this is excuse me, I'm so sorry. He is the face of the January 6th insurrection. And I mean, this is public enemy number one, you know, outside of Donald Trump. And the police helped him. How can you say like that this is a danger to our democracy and that we need to censor these videos? You put this man in prison for 4 years, but meanwhile, he walked through a crowd of police officers who opened the door for him onto the Senate floor for a photo shoot, and then they arrested him.
So James had his buddy on the show, on the We the People show. His name is escaping my head right now, but I actually met his buddy in Dallas as well that drove him to the Capitol on that day. They were there together. He didn't go in, whatever. The guy got in first. There was a lot of people there that day. They said that they got, disconnected, whatever, but his buddy left, and then they drove back to Arizona from where they're from. Right. He swears up and down that he's not a paid show. He was just a regular American.
Right.
So, I mean, you can take it for what it is. Do I think that he fit the exact part and they hit the fucking jackpot with him? With the Q set me shirt, horns on, everything? Like, Is that a coincidence that it was that over the top, like a movie production? Yeah. The one side of me goes, ugh. The other side says there's sometimes wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there is that ability there. But I want to share this video as well. All right. This is going into the paid actors, right? Because we've just been talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me bring it up.
We did it.
Dude, I was trying to tell you. I couldn't say much.
You were
You just have to Is this not going to be the best film you've ever made in your life?
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah.
Wait, you were recording, right?
I'll delete this. But I didn't record you. It's just voices.
You didn't record me. I'll delete that shit. It's just voices. Right.
Yeah, but what were they saying? It was coming in a little choppy on my end.
Okay. So basically, like, we did it. We did it. I can't believe we did it.
Right. That I heard. But did they ever identify themselves? Though? Yeah, they're Antifa, but did they ever identify themselves as Antifa?
They never. Well, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get back to my. Oh, are we still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Just because. Yeah. Just because. My screen. I'm trying to like screen share.
I know you're doing a million things.
I need to do. I need to be able to do. I need to be able to get another monitor so I can just pull from the side so I can work and look at you. But
that's my goal over here.
So we talked about this, and actually I'm gonna give James credit because he reposted the video, but I ripped it from him. I gave him credit on it though, but he said we've been telling you for 2 years it was a setup. It says breaking: CNN's Jade Shacker penetrating the Capitol with a member of BLM and Antifa cheering. We did it, and they're asking her conspirator who was filming. She said, he said he deleted it. He lied. CNN was in on it. So that lady was Jade Slacker from CNN.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She wouldn't give up who it was, but we're pretty sure. Remember
it's
the guy,
that little BLM guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And there has been stuff that has come out over that years ago that already confirmed all this. Like he sold the video to the news agencies for $50 or $30 or $50,000. So he was selling it to CNN. He was selling it to MSNBC and got paid for it. There's financial transactions for a service of his video for money.
Yeah.
And the video has CNN's producer going, we did it. We did it. We got in. Imagine. And you hear them. They say, oh, imagine a movie we could make with this.
Yeah.
The movie, not the reality, the fucking movie.
Well, we're already watching a movie. I'm most certain of it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
now you're seeing the other side play out. Yeah. So like, all right, let's dive into that for a second. Okay. So, we're watching a movie, right? We just watched the prequel.
Mm-hmm.
All the bullshit, all the chaos, all the, we can riot, but you're domestic terrorist. We can kill people, but you're this. You hate this. Color revolution. That's all they're doing. And once you understand what a color revolution is, like Venezuela, like Libya, like Iraq, like, everywhere that it doesn't have the Western Central Bank, that we have to go give them democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't pay and they're on the gold standard and they're wealthy countries and they don't need the elites. We go in and fucking destroy them. And we say it's because of they don't like gay people. Oh, they don't like homosexuals. Oh, they don't like this. Oh, they treat women this way. Oh, they do this. Oh, they do that. What are they doing on the U.S. soil right now? Feminism, transgenderism, right?
Weakening our future.
Homophobia.
That's all it is. Weakening our country's future.
So, they're doing the same thing here, ripping down statues. Everybody knows that famous thing where they had the noose around Saddam's neck and they're pulling him down, that giant statue. What did they do here? Trying to take down George Washington, trying to take down this because they were slave owners. They were this. It's all about racism. Everybody hates white people are the worst. We're terrible humans. We're all this stuff. We're the only country that fought to stop fucking slavery.
Yeah.
And it's still going on in Africa.
Still going on in China, the Middle East.
Middle East, the biggest, the most slavery there's ever been in the history of humanity is going on right now. Where doesn't it happen? In the U.S., but we're all slaves to a system at one point, right?
Oh yeah.
So
well,
I mean,
that's the problem with this, because that system is now crumbling. It's been interesting to watch, and I'm only bringing this up now because we have a bit of a timeline, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this.
Go ahead.
Things are starting to crumble. The narrative is starting to crumble. We knew Russiagate was bullshit. We knew impeachment 1 and 2 was bullshit.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
We knew COVID was bullshit. We knew lockdowns, bullshit. Vaccines, bullshit. January 6th, bullshit. Election 2020, bullshit. We don't have proof on it yet. That levy has not broken out yet. But lab leak theory, Fauci, Hunter Biden laptop, it's all coming out, and Twitter fell. And I think we're just going to see more and more and more of this take place in this year, 2023. And then I think just in time for everybody to start campaigning is when all the types of trials and hearings are going to begin. And they're going to be so bad, and there's going to be so much news surrounding it, that it's going to be damn near impossible for the left, or for, I don't even want to say the left, because we were just talking about how corrupt Mitch McConnell is, for the
Uniparty.
Yeah, for the Uniparty to campaign in any positive light.
I agree with you.
I think it's almost like timed, and it is a movie that we're watching, that like this is all unfolding leading up to the 2024 election.
What's the end game?
Complete. If you look at it from a Trump supporting MAGA individual, it's the swamp being drained and Trump riding back into the White House. The only thing that
who's going to fill the swamp?
Oh, well, now Trump will, with his own monsters. That's always been the problem.
So, well, monsters for good or evil. I mean, you need monsters.
Yeah.
You need monsters.
Yeah.
You just need good monsters.
Yeah. And how good are they for how long?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the problem is 90+% of the House and the Senate are corrupt.
Yeah.
We know this. You can see it.
Which
you
is
can see
insane,
them flip flop. You can see them back each other. Oh, we can't agree on anything. We can't agree on helping the American people, but we all come together, send it to Ukraine. Oh, we can't believe on this, but hold on. Wait. January 6th, the other tapes come out. Oh, this is a fight against democracy. And you saw it. Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, boop.
Yeah, best friends.
Birds of a feather flock together, kids. So, I mean, it's blatantly in your face, but there is a huge still percentage of the population that don't want to believe Santa Claus ain't real.
Yeah.
They don't. They can't. It would, we talked about this. It would break their mental psyche as an adult to find out that they've been lied to their whole entire life. Like me, I'm cool with that. I know they're fucking lying. And then like we say all the time, once you see the playbook, you can spot the lie like this. Like this.
Yeah. It's going to be tough for them. And it's something that I think they're going to have to deal with. And, maybe, I don't know, maybe suicide rates will skyrocket. I have no idea what the end result's going to be for it. But I was thinking of this the other day. I would love to get, I wish I could be a fly on the wall, or if I could even be like Brooklyn Dad for a few moments, to see your entire livelihood, this agenda and narrative that you bought into, that you were paid into, is falling apart. And now your name and your face and your reputation and all the fame that you got over the past X number of years, it's all a facade. It's all facade.
Well, you saw that falling apart because he got Brooklyn Dad to fine originally because he was a father that didn't want to pay child support. That's how he originally got on.
No, I didn't hear that. No,
it was in his comments when he said something, and this lady fucking went at him. She's like, "Oh, Brooklyn Dad Defiant, remember why you got on Twitter, and now you're a fucking paid actor for the Democratic Party? You were a fucking deadbeat dad that didn't want to pay your child support and don't see your kids and this and that and blah blah blah." So they all listen. We all come from somewhere. Everybody makes mistakes, but I fucking hate the people that are the grimiest son of bitches, virtue signaling the run. I'm telling you right now, I'm a fucking degenerate. I don't care. I know what I am. But you know what else I know I am? I do right by people. I do good things for people.
You have
I
accountability.
I have accountability. I right my wrongs. I'm just a human, man. I'm a sinner. We all are.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. And if you could look me in the eyes and tell me you're perfect, I could tell you you're a fucking liar.
Just by saying you're perfect shows how imperfect you are.
Exactly. Except for we're always right.
Yes. Well,
So,
I mean, somebody's got to be right.
I got to get out of here soon, but I want to just put this on here. And I know this is going because we talked about the COVID narrative and we were talking about the biolabs last week, but this just came up. I'm going to share this from Benny Johnson. And this is the former CDC director. This just happened. Love or hate her, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene answering the questions. Full transparency, she's not my favorite person, but she's asking the right questions. All right, so let's see if I can get this up. I airdropped it from my phone, so we'll see how this goes.
I feel she's one of the 10% that's not corrupt because they hate her that much.
Nah, I talked to Teddy Daniels, had him on my show, and he said that she is as swampy as they come, taking money.
Really?
And
Okay.
Yeah. We can get into that on that episode. Hold on 1 second. Ready?
Go for it.
So why did this virus have the arginine sequences for human there, not bat? It was very disconcerting to me. It looked like this virus was engineered.
Was this what you're observing and speaking of? Is this something that would be in line with gain of function research and the capabilities it would provide to the virus?
Yeah, I mean, basically, this lab published in 2014 that they accomplished in this allowing the coronaviruses that they were working with in the lab to bind to the H2 receptor in humanized mice, and the only way they did that was by reorienting the binding domain.
And it was clear to them at this time that that was likely the issue in their private conversations. Yet by February 4th, a paper on the origins of COVID is drafted by 4 participants of the February 1 conference call. One of those participants, Dr. Anderson, completely reverses himself in an email to the president of EcoHealth, Peter Daszak, and says the main crackpot theories going around at the moment relate to this virus being somehow engineered, and that is demonstrably false. My question to you, Mr. Redfield, did you know of any evidence that they had found within 3 days from February 1st to February 4th to be able to confirm that it was not created in a lab?
As I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, I was excluded from those conversations.
How you feel about that, Cap?
It's just, once again, we were right, and they said we were wrong. What they were saying.
Did you catch what he said about humanized mice?
Yes, that's something that science has been doing for a long time.
But what I'm saying is, like, people don't understand, as far-fetched as it sounds, they're making animals and splicing them with humans. Yeah. This is Alex Jones shit about talking about human pigs making in China fucking 20 years ago. Yeah. And he was called a conspiracy theorist. And they're like, oh yeah, humanized mice, blah, 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 blah. Remember the fight? What we talked about this. You don't remember Dolly the lamb or whatever, where it was like the clone.
Oh, it was a clone lamb.
Yeah. So there's that going on. But literally, this is the former director of the CDC that was telling you to mask, stay 6 feet, all this. And we all know how it goes. You present something, but the back works of business runs away different, right? So they all got together and said, this is what we're going to tell you. And behind, even the people that were like, bro, I'm not part of this plan. This is fucked up. We need to say, shut your mouth. You're not part of this. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and go tell the rest of the world to go do this. Shut your mouth. They fucking knew what they were doing. And we've been saying this. And what was that number? They said 2014?
Yep. The year 2014.
What did we talk about last episode in Ukraine and Obama?
Oh, yeah. All the biolabs in 2014.
What year was that?
2014.
Oh, another coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, EcoHealth, everything else that we've talked about, how they fucking did the gain of function research. Did you hear
how the NIH
did you hear
funded?
Did you hear how those names are dropping and those dates are dropping? Like, we knew about this 2 months in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you fucking ripped us off of YouTube. You took us off Spotify. You had our families call us, crazy vaxxers, anti-vaxxers. We're conspiracy theorists. We're everything. And it's playing out on TV.
Yep.
So on that note, Good fucking riddance. Enjoy the show, bitches.
Yep. All right, everybody. It's another episode of Captain Samurai. And we were right. Shocking. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Check Garrett out on Sergeant Samurai. Check me out on the Two Do Men podcast. I'm sure we will be talking way more and way in depth about January 6th and about the new COVID. Excuse me. I'm sorry. About finding about the COVID origins. So tune in next week for another bonus segment. Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. And ladies.